Hey guys, what's up? This is Bobby from One More Rep Fitness, and today I wanted to make haven't made a few videos in a couple weeks. So I wanted to make a few more for you guys, get some knowledge out of it. So this one I think is really good for the holiday season because there's a lot of stress involved. Workouts become harder. There's a lot of stress involved. All right, stress is like when you heard the expression stress will kill you. Literally, like stress is so damaging to your body. In so many different ways, and we stress about so many different things, right? And I always talk about stress when I first meet clients, and I talk about this analogy with like a bathtub. Okay, you have a big bathtub and you have all these faucets, and those that's all your stress. You're never going to get rid of stress completely, but you want to start turning those down a little bit, or maybe you can even eliminate some, right? But what happens when that tub gets to a certain point, you reach a point where it's going to affect your hormones negatively, so you're not going to get good results. You're going to feel stressed, overwhelmed, and you might just quit. Okay, it's going to really affect you. Okay, and we're designed to deal with stress and adapt to stress. But if we don't give our body enough time, or resources to adapt to stress, we're going to have a very hard time with that. Okay, so the first thing I want you to think about all the stress you have in your life. Work, family, if you're trying to lose weight, maybe gym, nutrition, all the things that you worry about, and all the things that physically stress you, like maybe like lack of sleep, intense workouts, all these different things. And what can you adjust so it doesn't? What can you change so it doesn't affect you, or affects you less? So a great example of this is like if you watch news and you see people getting murdered and kids getting kidnapped, you watch that for say a couple hours a night. That's negative. That doesn't make you feel good, right? You might not think so, but that's going to have a negative effect on your results. Maybe you can reduce how much you watch the news, right? If you if you're staying up late watching TV shows about murder and crime, you'd be better off if you're serious about results of not watching that stuff, or reduce how much you watch that stuff and get some extra Z's, like sleep more. And sometimes it's just a matter of how you react to things. Like I always give this example of, like, if you have a really crappy day at work and you're working for 8 hours and then you go home and then you bitch about it for 3 hours, like you spent your entire day in this negative state. And it's not just about negative thinking, but it's about what it's doing internally to our body. So what you have to realize is that human beings are amazing in the fact that we're one of the very few species that can remember the past, and with that we can predict the future. Okay. But this can be a very negative thing if you ever worried about something or got mad at something, but it never really happened, or it really wasn't the way you thought it was. And there's really no sense of being worried about it or being stressed about it. Like when you get stressed internally, things change, and the reason they do that is because they're shifting and getting you ready to either run from a problem or fight the problem. Now the problem is that if the problem doesn't exist and we're constantly making this happen, we're in this state too much, right? And that's unnatural. We should be balanced, right? That state is designed to help us deal with stress immediately, and then afterwards we need to shift to this other state, which is a state of relaxing, so we can recover from those stresses. But what happens with how life is nowadays is where you don't get much sleep, you work, you get up really quick, you're in a rush in the morning, you work all day to a job maybe you like, but maybe it's stressful. You go home, maybe you're fighting with your spouse, maybe your kids are pissing you off, and then again you watch news about people getting killed. It's constant stress. And like, when do you have the time to recover and kind of feel good? And people don't make that time, right? And it might seem outside the scope of fitness, but if you don't deal with stress, you're gonna have a very hard time getting results, right? It will affect how much muscle you can build. It's gonna affect your fat loss, right? It's gonna affect your motivation too. So a few like tips or strategies to recover from workouts more. But when I tell people this is not just about recovering from workouts, but it's recovering from life. Life is stressful. You need to make sure that you recover from life before you think about working out intensely. So first thing is sleep, right? Sleep is so important, and usually I feel like sleep gets better once you start working out, once you start putting great food in your body, okay? But sleeping like 7 to 8 hours a night, which is real tough sometimes if you're a busy mom or whatnot. And then more than that is like your quality of sleep. Are you sleeping through the night? All right. So a few things that strike me is like if you get up frequently because you're drinking so much water, which is great. Try to drink most of your water during the day and taper off at night. That might help. Okay. If you have a hard time, if you have a hard time sleeping, why do you have a hard time sleeping? Is it because you're staying up too late? The TV's on because your phone keeps like going off or alerting you with a Facebook update. If that is, it's a very simple solution is just shut off your phone or put your phone on airplane mode for the night. Or if you have trouble sleeping, what happens a lot with like if I'm really stressed out, like I'll have a hard time sleeping. I'm usually like I can fall asleep really easily, but if I'm really stressed out and worried about something, like it's really hard for me to sleep. So a lot of times it'd be easy for you to resolve the problem or write your problems, write everything you're worried on paper. It's almost like getting out of your head, especially if you're worried about like tomorrow because you have so many things to do. Take some time, and I do this most nights is take some time to write out what you're going to do tomorrow, all the things you want to accomplish, when you're going to get things accomplished, and it's like, and just going to get you prepared for the next day, and usually that will bring a little anxiety down, a little stress down, and you have a much easier time sleeping. And find things that will help you kind of relax and de-stress. So maybe reading a book for 30 minutes, like a lighthearted book, like maybe like a funny book, a book that helps you relax. Maybe a book about killing people and murder isn't probably the best thing for this. Maybe talking to someone you love on the phone. Maybe just like relax in silence, doing breathing drills before you go to bed, foam rolling before you go to bed. Maybe go for a walk. Anything that's going to help you kind of calm you down, right? And these are kind of things that are going to relax you too and help you de-stress as well. Doing some yoga, things like that will help you out. So if you're really stressed, number one is get sleep. But what I would also do is create some type of maybe morning or night ritual or both, where you're going to do things that will help you relax you, or do things that will not distract you from sleep or just stress you out in general. So maybe you can wake up 10 minutes early each day, and read your goals, drink some water, and do some stretching, right? Or maybe you foam roll like for 10 minutes before you get in the shower, before you go to bed. Just different things like this. And this is really, and this small things, but if you do this on a consistent basis and you start getting more and better quality of sleep, your results are going to go up, all right? And people don't think about this. People always talk about training and they always talk about nutrition, but they don't talk about recovery. If you're stressed, right? If you're stressed and your hormones are messed up because you're not managing stress properly, it's going to affect your results big time. So I want you guys to really focus on this. This video went a lot longer than I thought, but if you have any questions on this, please let me know. I'm all ears. I'll help you out. Thank you guys.